Hey, what's going on, everybody? It's Bill with Let's Talk Dubs, and we're looking at video 2 of Zorba, the Ghia, the transformation. The restoration is being done by Spike's Vintage Restorations in the UK in Essex, and he's doing a full body off restoration. On this episode, we go through some more disassembly, some prep, some prime, paint some pieces, and get some things ready. And we stumble across no shortage of surprises. So luckily, Andy's on it, and he's doing everything as quick and as good as he can. So we'll you get a little narration going through this point and see all the detail that's going into doing what it's going to take to make Zorba the Ghia a one-of-a-kind Type 34 Karma Ghia. So I'm pretty excited about that. There's been a lot of back and forth recently that we've had over some interior projects, like some interior design and stuff like that on the car. I'm dead set on using this Greek key embroidered it's kind of a ribbon that would go on the end of like pillows or curtains or something like that. But it just, when I saw it, I thought I need to have that element in the car. So I may put a picture of that product in there, but I might just say that for the next video. So currently, as I'm recording this video, the pan is out at the assemblers right now. Well, you'll see what's going on with the pan. So it was at the assemblers. Now it's back at Andy's shop. He's got to fit a couple pan halves to it, because once that was blasted, it turned into a bit of a disaster. And then everything was kind of not what it seems over here. So let's get ready to get into it. I'll narrate as we go along. So check it out. All right, so the body's back at Andy's shop now from the blasters, and they went ahead and they're getting it ready and prepped for some epoxy primer. And now that's it in the booth, getting epoxy primed at this point, going through and just there, because it's so wet, they've got to immediately get everything in epoxy primer. So this is kind of a video of them going through and showing me all the priming that they've done while they're waiting for metal pieces. So shout out to Mario Steinhauser with Type 3 headquarters. He's been getting us a lot of parts and pieces that we've needed. So, but this is the rest of the body that's getting all sealed up with the epoxy primer over there, so things don't flash rust, because over there, with the humidity being so wet, these things will flash rust pretty quick. So just getting this closed up and ready for prep work. So as you can see, the rear panel was trashed. Luckily, Russell Ritchie kicked down with a NOS rear panel. The rest of the body goes over now to John, and he starts working on some of the trim pieces. as you can see, replacing the front reinforcement by the front horn. That's Andy fixing the front bumperette that I had. The corner was broke on it, so had to get that repaired.
I'm trying to get it done. That's the bit that gets inside the box section, isn't it? I mean,
that's the inside of your bottom of your front panel, mate. Thought we better get rid of that.
Here's the new rear NOS panel that's getting primed and ready to go. And then just before he starts working on putting that thing on, he wants to get the inside back side of it painted. We're still using a sea blue color, but there's gonna be something a little bit different about it. So it's not just gonna be your stock sea blue. So got it prepped that color, and then continuing on with getting it ready to be put in. Now Andy's on to prepping the sheet metal for the motor, getting all that prepped and ready to paint. So that stuff's just gonna go back to a satin black, keeping it nice and clean. The engine compartment, nothing super crazy. Gas tanks getting prepped and prepared for a fresh coat of paint. Nice satin black there, looking good. Same with the engine tin. So everything's just kind of getting prepped, cleaned up, and just going to be detailed. Nothing super extravagant. This is really going to be built as a really nice driver. So that's the rear drain tray. Those are the dual port the sheet metal covers that go on the end of the valve or the cylinder covers. So more cylinder covers over there, and then this is the internal fan. I asked him why he was painted. He said he just had it there, and they blasted it, so he was just painted to keep it from being raw. Rear air intake grills painted gloss black, and then these are the pieces after they've just got sprayed out. So they're all in the paint booth. Just got a fresh coat on them, and everything's coming together as far as that goes. So a bunch more engine stuff getting detailed and painted and just cleaned up so that when the car goes together, everything looks brand new. Well, as you can see here, everything didn't end up being as good as we hoped in the pan. As soon as it got blasted, there was tons and tons of filler on the pan, just making it look like it was something else. So that was bad news that came, and we ended up needing to get pan halves ordered. So luckily, Spike's got connections to get the pan halves situated. So pan halves are en route and on their way to get this drama here behind us. Yeah, as you can see from the pictures, they're pretty banged up, and they looked really straight. I mean, I had it on a rack, and they were gloss black, and it looked real straight. But yeah, hot garbage, bro. Hot garbage. You can see the light coming through the backside of the holes there, so it's kind of a bit of a bummer. But you know, what are you gonna do, man? When you're restoring these cars, you don't have much of a choice. You start digging in, you might as well just eat the whole steak, you know. Next, after this, we're going to start getting into some of the gauges and some of the detail pieces and parts that he's getting painted and put back together for the car, and then some shots of the rocker.
Brand new.
You don't rely much on.
Radio that's going to be powering your amps. So this is what's left of your radio. That there is all this shit that come in it, excuse my language. So now when you switch it on, it operates a micro switch in here, which is out of a new Beetle, and then lights this up, and obviously that light's now out to your amps. So turn it off, Joe. So turn it on, turn it off. There you go.
Next, it might be a little controversial, but we're going to do kind of a Pagali theme with this thing being all blue, and we're doing all the columns and everything color matched, even down to the door threshold. So seat frames are also being painted the same color, so it's going to be blue on blue, and I mean, it looks a little pastel in the colors, but what are you going to do? That's what he's got. So I'm trusting in my guy Spike. It looks so far so good. I'm really liking it. They did a bang up job on getting everything painted and detailed. The steering column, all those bits and pieces are just looking top notch, man. So super excited, and we're moving right along. This next step is going to be getting the pan halves welded in this week, and getting the rest of this thing closed out. So that last video covers about the last 2 weeks it's been working on the car. There's a few things that are just kind of holding it up. Obviously, the more we dig in the car, the more we find out that it needs some more metal pieces. And with it being a Type 34 Ghia, luckily enough, some of that stuff's made in Germany. So, like I said, Mario's been a huge help. Russell Ritchie's been a huge help. Really, Spike is just networked up there with a bunch of guys that he's able to get so much stuff for the car pretty quick, get it turned around from the pan halves to everything else, and the radio, lots of stuff that I didn't have, he got handled. And then I want to give a shout out to John Brewster. He's really doing a bang up job getting all that metal work done. Super, super nice fab work. So that's who's taking care of the fab work around the corner from his shop, replacing some of the rockers and the reinforcements in the front. So, yeah, he's got Spike's got it down to a science. He's got his metal guy around the corner that does all his metal bits and whatnot, and then they come over to the shop. He finishes it up, gets it ready for paint. So pretty excited. All that stuff starting to come together. So looking good. A bunch of stuff got shipped off to Chrome. Obviously, all the Chrome work that I had done here in Vegas, every bit of it had to be redone. I mean, I left it in the package and shipped it straight to the UK, and he sent me a picture of it. Everything was just trashed. So every piece had pinholes in it and just real substandard Chrome work. So bummer, but it's a bummer. Anytime you build a car, you usually end up having to do stuff twice. And I'm not really a guy that's super nitpicky, but I guess that's what happens when you don't check stuff and you just go on thinking people are doing a good job and you shouldn't have to worry about it. So anyway, you live and you learn. So wiring harness, I think, is on its way. I just shipped him another package with a shifter and some other parts and pieces that he was needing. So next video that'll be coming out will be the pan getting the halves put on and the metalwork being finished, car being prepped out, blocked, and primed. And we'll see. So probably next couple weeks, you guys will get another video. So hopefully you enjoy. If you like these videos, make sure you guys subscribe. There's more stuff that's going to be coming on like this. I got a couple other projects that we're working on that we'll just do some update videos on that. And if you don't listen to my podcast, make sure you guys will subscribe today to Let's Talk Dubs podcast. It's on all the platforms that you listen to podcasts on. And they're really long form interviews of people that have made the hobby what it is. A lot of guys from the States, a lot of guys from the UK. We're really worldwide. People from all over the world have been on the podcast. 260 episodes. If you haven't listened to it, didn't know about it, you just caught this video, make sure you go subscribe today to Let's Talk Dubs podcast on any of your listening platforms. So until next week, guys, later.